It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Gun violence hit another college campus. Chaos, confusion, and grief depressed Michigan State University. Good evening, I'm Fair Zane. We begin with that developing story out of East Lansing. Police said the gunman opened fire on campus, killing 3 students and wounding 5 others. The shooting unfolded last night in 2 locations, an academic building and the student union. According to police, the suspect, 43-year-old Dwayne McCray, is dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He has no connection to the university. The officer found a note on his body threatening 2 other New Jersey schools, but his motivation at MSU is unclear.
Right when that first gunshot went off, I booked it to the far corner of the class. I was sitting right next to the door where he came in, literally one of the first 2 seats he came in. And I thank God my fight or flight response kicked in because I booked it to the far side of the class and ducked down, and he came in and shot 3 to 4 times in our classroom.
I was like shaking in the bathroom, and it was just terrible. It's just like preparing myself for like the worst thing ever.
Students and community members sheltered in place for hours. On East Lansing campus, it is home to 50,000 students. The shooting at Michigan State marks the 2nd school shooting this year and continues a wave of gun violence in the U.S. There have been more mass shootings than days so far this year, 65 in total. That includes gunfire in Monterey Park, California, the deadliest attack since the Uvalde massacre in May 2022. These numbers are from Gun Violence Archive, a nonprofit group that tracks gun-related violence. It defines mass shooting as a shooting that injures or kills more than 4 people. Today marks the 5th anniversary of the mass shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Students at Florida Elementary School formed a giant heart at the number 17 to honor the 17 people who lost their lives on this day in 2018. They also held a moment of silence at 10:17 before releasing students early for a day of service. Here at Purdue University, a professor was arrested last week in Lafayette. Is now barred from campus. 65-year-old Sergei Makarov is accused of possessing and dealing with meth and propositioning women. According to police, his arrest comes after a lengthy investigation. Purdue spokesperson Tim Dozy says the university is working to meet the needs of undergraduate and graduate students in Makarov's lectures and labs. Makarov is a professor in the School of Aeronautics and Astronautics. Police are investigating vandalism at Hillel Purdue, the center of Jewish campus life. According to investigators, someone threw a beer bottle at the building window, shattering one of the glass panes. Purdue police have no needs and haven't established anti-Semitism as a motive. However, in a statement, Hillel says the vandalism of our building is unprecedented and has left our community concerned and with many questions for our students. Purdue Hillel is a safe, welcoming, and affirming space. It is such heartbreaking that beyond our window, our sense of calm has been broken. The Board of Trustees has given the green light to President Meng Chang's proposal for a 12th consecutive tuition freeze. This keeps tuition fees unchanged for students until the 2024 and 2025 academic year. Reporter Rachel Tai has the reaction.
Purdue University Board of Trustees decided to continue freezing tuition on February 3rd. This is endorsed by President Meng Chang's request for the 12th consecutive tuition freeze. We are at the Stewart Center, and let's see how students react to this.
I'm really grateful for it. I'm an out-of-state student, and so I know it helps a lot, especially not with having to deal with like the increase in price each year. So I really it affects me a lot, and I appreciate it.
It helps people plan a budget, and they don't have to go out of their way to try and adapt to either higher or lower.
Tuition being frozen is part of the reason that I chose to come to this school out of all the other out-of-state schools. So I am grateful that Purdue has continued to do that.
It's good for middle-class students, especially to give them the opportunity to continue to pursue their education.
Students are happy and grateful to this decision. This is actually the first time of tuition freeze since President Chiang took office. Report from Fast Track News. This is Rachel Tsai.
Part of Stewart Center has a new name. Glitchy Student Success Crossroads will serve as a new space for student surveys and organizations to meet. The university held a dedication ceremony to thank donors who contributed to the renovations. Purdue received more than $25,000 for the project. The center will now house the Department of Admissions, Financial Aid, and the Purdue ID card office. Love is in the air. It's Valentine's Day off campus. One of the most beautiful days, as always. It's delightful to see roses, gifts, cards, and, most importantly, lovely couples. Students, staff, and faculty celebrate this day of affliction. Here are a few quick facts. Valentine's Day is a drift from the feast for the patron saint, Saint Valentine. Historians tell us he married couples in secret to prevent men from going to war. In the 1400s, the day became associated with romance. People started writing letters and poems, declaring their love and calling them Valentines. Today, some 180 million cards are exchanged each year, and florists ready nearly 2 million roses for the day. The average person is expected to spend more than $100 sharing their loved ones with gifts. In fact, the happiest thing about Valentine's Day is not that I can spend it with my loved one or watching other couples spend it together. It should be that many stores and restaurants have special discounts. How wonderful it is! Up next, the morning omelette could cost you. What driving the skyrocketing price of eggs? Plus, Purdue women basketball is selling out at Thundering Head. Scores and highlights after the break.